In this video, I'll be talking about 10-2, estimating sums and differences of mixed numbers. The first thing that we need to be able to do in order to estimate the sums and difference of mixed numbers is find the nearest whole number to a mixed number. So if I had something like 1 and 5/7, we need to be able to find the closest whole number. So if I have 1 and 5/7, there's a couple ways that I could think about this. First of all, I could think about a number line. So 1 and 5/7 falls between 1 and 2. And then I'll draw my sevenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1 and 5/7 would be right here. And as you can see, that is closer to 2 than it is to 1. So 2 would be the nearest whole number. The other thing I could do is think about what half would be in terms of sevenths, like we did in topic 9. For sevenths, half would be right in between 3/7 and 4/7. So as you can see, 5/7 is bigger, so it would round up to the next whole number. So you're kind of trying to see if it falls on this side of the number line and you would go up, or on this side of the number line and you would go down, compared what it is to a half. So in this case, 5/7 is bigger than 3 or 4/7, which is half, so it goes up to the next whole number, 2. Let's look at another example. If I have 2 and 3/10, again, I can draw my number line. 2 and 3/10 falls between 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are my tenths. So 2 and 3/10 would be right here. Either you can look at it visually, that does look closer to 2, or again, we could think about what half would be. Half would be 5/10. So 2 and 5/10 would be 2.5. So this is smaller than 2.5, so it goes down to 2 rather than up to 3. In order to estimate sums and differences, like I said, you need to know how to be able to do that. Because when we estimate sums and differences, we're going to find the nearest whole number for each mixed number and then either add or subtract them. So if I had something like 10 and 5/6 minus 2 and 3/8, in order to estimate this difference, I need to first find the closest whole number to each of these mixed numbers. I'm not going to draw a number line for this. I'm just going to think about what half is. So 10, my choices are either 10 or 11 because those are the two whole numbers that 10 and 5/6 falls in between. However, half in terms of sixths would be 3/6. So 10 and 3/6 would be half. 5/6 is going to be closer to 11. Let's do the same for 2 and 3/8. 2 and 3/8 falls between 2 and 3. Right in between those two would be 2.5, or 2 and 4/8. So 2 and 3/8 is just a little bit smaller. It'd be about here, meaning it's closer to 2 than it is to 3. So now I have my two whole numbers, and now I can subtract them. 11 minus 2 is 9, so my best estimate is 9. Let's look at one more example like this. We'll look at 48 and 1/10 plus 2 and 7/9. 48 and 1/10 is in between 48 and 49. Half would be 48.5, or 48 and 5/10. Since 1/10 is smaller than 5/10, which would be halfway in between, 48 and 1/10 is closer to 48 than 49. Let's do the same for 2 and 7/9. 2 and 7/9 falls in between 2 and 3. Half of that would be 2.5, which would be about 2 and 4/9, or 2 and 5/9. But 2 and 7/9 is definitely bigger than that, meaning it's bigger than 2.5, so it's closer to 3 than it is to 2. So now I change my numbers to 48 and 3, and I can add them to get 51 as my final answer. Try this problem on your own. Put it on your video sheet and bring it with you tomorrow. Your problem to try is 2 and 4/10 plus 3 and 5/8. This should be a 10 right here. Either draw a number line or think about what halfway is and then add your whole numbers together. Good luck!